Hell is other people. Jean-Paul Sartre's No Exit gives us one of the most famous lines in all of existentialism. At first glance, it might sound like your standard misanthropy, something you might mutter when you're angry at society. But Sartre wasn't just criticizing other people. He was saying that other people fundamentally shape, limit, and imprison us. No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre is a one-act play in which three characters, Garcin, Inez, and Estelle, find themselves locked in a room together after death. There's no torture device, no fire, no brimstone, just each other. And slowly they realize the true nature of their punishment. They are there to be each other's tormentors. There's no escape, no reprieve, and worst of all, no mirrors. They're forced to see themselves only through the gaze of others. And in doing so, their true selves are revealed in ways that they can no longer deny or escape from. And that's the real horror of No Exit. It's not about eternal damnation. It's about the inescapable nature of the human gaze, about how our selfhood isn't just something that we own, but something constantly created and distorted by others. There's three people, a single room, no windows, no mirrors, no way out. Just three souls forced to see themselves through the eyes of others. And this is what Sartre called le regard, or the look. But to really understand what's happening here, we need to go deeper into Sartre's concept of the other and how human consciousness itself is shaped by its interaction with others. Sartre argues that existence is divided into two modes, being for itself and being in itself. The for itself is conscious, self-aware, and capable of defining itself. The in itself is our facticity in the world that we're born into and exist within. It exists but has no self-awareness. Here's the problem. The moment another consciousness, another for itself enters the picture, we're no longer free to define ourselves completely. We become an object in their perception, a fixed thing, rather than a fluid, fully free being. And this is the other's power over us, the ability to lock us into an identity that we cannot escape. Garcin, one of the three condemned souls in No Exit, experiences this in real time. He's desperate to believe that he's not a coward, that his actions in life, fleeing rather than fighting for his beliefs, were justified. But Inez, sharp and unflinching, doesn't let him escape. One always dies too soon, or too late, and yet one's whole life is complete at that moment, with a line drawn neatly under it, ready for summing up. You are your life, and nothing else. This is Sartre's existentialist horror. Once we are perceived by another, we lose control of how we define ourselves. We are pinned down by their gaze. Garcin pleads with Estelle to see him as brave, to rewrite his story, but he can't control how she sees him, or how Inez sees him. He is in their eyes what he cannot escape, a coward. And in that moment, his for itself is stripped away, leaving him a mere object. His being in itself defined not by his intention, but by his past actions. And so the real horror of No Exit isn't fire or brimstone. It's knowing that we are forever at the mercy of others. Sartre had a term for this self-deception, mauvaise foi, or bad faith. Bad faith is the rejection of the true freedom that the for itself has to shape its own life. This rejection often comes in the form of lies that we may tell ourselves to convince others that we cannot change. Garcin, bad faith. He wants to be a hero, but deep down, he knows he's not. He's always blaming the in itself for the lack that's found in the for itself. This bad faith and denial of freedom and responsibility is the reason he's a true coward. Estelle, bad faith. She insists that she belongs in a ballroom, not in hell, but she drowned her own child in front of the only man to ever truly love her, just to maintain her image, which causes him to kill himself. She rejects that her actions and her own freedom led her to her circumstance, and instead claims to be something she's not. Inez, she's the only one that doesn't lie to herself. She's cruel, manipulative, but she's fully aware of it. And because of that, she holds the most power in the room. She doesn't hide behind justifications. She owns her past. And Sartre doesn't let us, the audience, off the hook either. Because we do this every day. We perform, we curate, we justify. We pretend we don't care what others think, even as we anxiously check how long our message has gone unanswered. But No Exit drags us into the light and forces us to confront this lie. In most visions of hell, there's a judge, a reckoning, a final moment where the cosmic scales are balanced. But in Sartre's hell, there's no divine punishment, no trial, no sentencing, just three people left to judge each other forever. And this is where No Exit ties directly into Sartre's greater existentialist ideals. And existentialism is a humanism, he wrote. Man is nothing else but what he makes of himself. There is no higher power defining our essence, no preordained morality, no God watching from above, giving or suffering meaning. We are left with nothing but each other, our actions, and the consequences that they carry. That's why the characters in No Exit are trapped, not because of a devil, but because of themselves. Their pasts are set in stone, their actions have shaped who they are, and the only justice they receive is the judgment of those around them. This exactly resembles what happens in life. Every mistake, every failure, every lie, we carry them forward. We're not given an eraser, only the weight of what we've done in contrast to our radical freedom to change. Near the end of No Exit, Garcin has a chance to leave. The door unlocks, but he doesn't move because he needs validation. He needs Anise to tell him that he's not a coward. And when she won't, he finally understands. There is no escape. Not from hell, not from himself, not from the gaze of others. He turns to Estelle and Anise, exhales, and delivers the final line. Well, let's get on with it.